Why you don't need confusion. In case we haven't met yet, I'm jessxgoh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. And it's so easy to get caught up in other people's confusion when they're not communicating themselves clearly, and to tolerate it. What I discovered through confusion is that it has shown me that I needed to take back agency. What I'm not willing to tolerate, to bring myself back into clarity. So if you refer to Dr. David R. Hawkins, his emotional log chart, which you can Google, he talks about confusion and different sorts of emotions and how each emotions carry a certain frequency. And so when we experience agitation, frustration, and anger, those emotions are all stemming from a place of confusion. So if you ever find yourself feeling angry, agitated, or frustrated, have you noticed that you feel confused as to why this has happened, or confused about a person's communication style, or the way they communicated to you, or what they said to you, or a situation that just made no sense? It just created a lot of chaos and trauma. It's all from confusion. So when I decided to end my tolerance in experiencing confusion, I had to step up in resolving what I needed to experience for me to bring myself in a place of clarity. So for instance, a past love interest confused me with his communication style because he was an avoidant personality type. So if I showed too much interest in him, he pulls away. And that creates confusion for me because I am not understanding why he is withdrawing, disconnecting, and disengaging with me as soon as I show interest. It just made no sense to me because he never explained to me how he was feeling and what showed up for me. So that created a lot of confusion. It also created a lot of confusion when he finally said to me that he's in a relationship and it's all new. But he never told me that he was seeing other women. That created a lot of confusion for me because I had no idea where I stood with him. It also created confusion for me when he didn't have the courage to tell me why he's not that interested in me. And that created a lot of confusion with my self-esteem and self-worth. And so I choose to tolerate confusion by accepting his communication style. And despite giving him feedback about his communication, I still tolerated the confusion anyway because I tolerated to engage with him in some shape, way, or form, whether it's being a love interest or a friend, until I decided enough is enough. I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. I'm going to leave. Because I noticed the more I engaged with him, the longer I stayed in whatever relationship we were in, the more confused I became, and my mental health and self-esteem was spiraling down, 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 down. And it didn't have to be that way. But it's because I choose to tolerate his avoidant personality, his communication style, and mixed messages that created this experience for me. So it takes two to tango. So when I finally saw my self-worth and realized this is not the path I want to keep going down with him, even if we're friends, I deserve clear communication and respect, as well as transparency. So if he cannot give that to me, why am I in this for? What am I getting out of this experience? So I finally called the shots and ended it. And I didn't have to give him an explanation. And there was no need to, because I already said everything that I had to say in the past, and it still wasn't getting through to him. And it's just the past behaviors rehashing itself in the present moment despite my constructive feedback. And despite that, I went into a suicidal state with him because of his mixed messages and unclear communication. And even from that experience of me being suicidal, he improved, and then he relapsed and became his avoidant personality, which I realized this is not going to help me thrive in my self-esteem if I continue to engage with this person in any way, shape, or form. So the power for me in taking agency in this is to say no, and that is to say no to confusion. And since that experience, it has woke me up where I can say no to confusion in other relationships and other aspects of my life that wasn't serving me. So I can experience more clarity and create more space in my mind, in my energetic container, so I can feel anchored into me and not getting caught up in other people's discordance or in a conflict with themselves because they're not in their power. And that's the beauty of confusion. And may this story serves you in how you can navigate through confusion. And it's not about blaming the other person, because it takes two people to tango in any kind of relationship, conversation and interaction, right? It takes two people to create that experience of any kind. So where was his part in creating confusion? And where was my part in experiencing and receiving confusion and not creating a healthy boundary to stop that from happening? So how can you take your part, agency, accountability, and responsibility in turning confusion around so you can move forward with clarity and confidence? If you're still struggling with this in navigating through confusion because of unresolved childhood trauma or the impacts of it, you might be interested in attending my upcoming events. So I have my full moon past life trauma clearing circle via Zoom or at my place if you want to clear some negative karma that you've taken on in previous past lives that you haven't resolved in this present time. I also have my workshops coming up in Sydney and in Tokyo if you feel called to attend, as well as my free webinar that's live on Zoom. And if you can't attend live, then you can access the replay, which is how to overcome the 5 types of childhood traumas. And there will also be a free galactic activation there as well to help you start dissolving those blockages. So you can click the links below to learn more about that. And if you feel you got something out of this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a like, comment below if you got something out of it, and feel free to share it with your loved ones who are going through a state of confusion right now. May this serves you for your highest good, and may you find clarity in confusion.